What's up? I'm Dylan from Stupid Raisins, and this is how to use FramePop. You can find FramePop in the effects browser, click on this little button on the right-hand side to open it up, and then scroll down to the section called FramePop. FramePop is organized into different styles. So we have some artistic frames, custom frames, which I'll show you in a little bit. We have some real frames, and then like simple and modern and tech. You can preview an effect by selecting a clip and then skimming over the thumbnail to see what that effect will look like. All right, the first step is to stack your clips. So on the bottom here, I have my background clip, and then on top I have me. And I want to make a little scene where I discuss how these guys raided my house and made a giant mess and scattered all of my documents all over the floor. Just kidding, that didn't really happen, but it's fun to pretend. Let's try out this one, Tech 1. I will just drag and drop it onto my top clip. And right away in the viewer, we can see a couple on-screen controls. This top one is to move everything all at once. So I can move the whole circle around, including the media in it. I can make it smaller or bigger with this outer ring. And then this little handle right here is rotation. The bottom on-screen controls move the media or my video clip on the inside. They also resize it. And just like the other handle, we can rotate the media inside. Let's take a look at the published parameters and customize this. Open up the inspector. If you don't see it over here on the right-hand side, just click this inspector button to open it up. Here's a little trick. If you double click where it says the name, it will expand the inspector all the way up and down so that we can easily access all of the different parameters. So FramePop is an effect and it works really well with audio so that you can sync up your different audio in your clips. I have some audio in this top clip, but we really don't need it and it'll be kind of disruptive. So I'm going to turn that down, and this is what it looks like out of the box. This little circle comes in, it has these radiating circles around it, and then it goes out. Pretty cool, right? We can customize our animations. We can turn them on and off with this check mark, and we can add other animations to it. Let's do fade for the in animation, and let's shrink for the out animation. This frame in and out are the animations you see here at the beginning with the frame being made. So this one now kind of fades in as the frame builds in. You can also have it slide in from a certain point using these parameters here, or you can have it spin in. These animation options are pretty fun, and you can come up with some cool combinations to have a unique animation. So here's how it looks fading in. And then here's how it looks shrinking. Zoom options allow us to have the frame come in and move to a certain spot on the screen. So let's enable full to small, and let's change our corner position. Let's go bottom left. Now it animates in and then moves to the left, but it doesn't keep my face in there. So we'll enable all media, and then it moves the media with it. I can change the size of this smaller circle if I want, and I can also adjust the position. It's a little bit close to the edge. I'm gonna move it back towards the center a little bit. There we go. If I uncheck all media, I can use these controls to recompose my shot. So we'll move me over and down, and maybe we'll zoom out just a little bit so we can see more of my beautiful face. There we go, that looks pretty good. A lot of the templates have these animations that happen for the whole duration of the template. For example, in this one, it has those radiating circles. Well, we can turn those off by unchecking through, and now that animation's off. We can turn it back on, and we can adjust how much, the amount of circles that radiate, the speed of them, and we can change the angle. Let's take a look at it now. Oh, that's kind of cool looking. If we turn it off, we can adjust the static size of this ring. I really like having that animation, so let's turn it back on. I can change the color of the rings. Let's try a light blue. And I can also adjust the opacity of the frame. We can turn that down a little bit, and I can tweak how thick the rings are. I can also flip my media in here if I want to rotate the side I'm on. These position, rotation, and size parameters are linked to the on-screen controls I showed earlier. We can also change the look of it further. We can change the opacity, we can blur it, we can add some noise. These controls here are tied to the top on-screen controls for position, rotation, and size. If you turn on the background opacity and turn down the media, you'll see this black behind there, and we can quickly change the color as well. Let's turn myself back on and the background off. And then there's an inside shadow of the frame that we can control and an outside drop shadow that we can control. All right, let's take a look at our custom picture-in-picture effect. I can't believe they broke in. Look at that mess they made. Now I got to clean it up. Very cool. All right, let's take a look at a custom one. FramePop has a couple custom frames in here, so I can drag and drop this onto my clip, and just like before, I can control it. The only difference is now I can add a custom frame, and I do that down here under the drop zone section. I'll click on this button, and then I'll find what I want to use as my frame in the browser. We're just going to use a cool image. Let's use this one. So I'll click on my image, and then I'll click on it up here, and I'll get an apply clip down here. So now I have this frame of a picture behind me. If I go down to the frame section here, I can change the shape of my frame. Let's do a heart since I'm such a hunk. Very nice. Oh, what a heartthrob. That's what that looks like. Okay, now let's take a look at this shapes frame. I'll add it to my clip, and under frame, we can select our different frame shapes. Let's try an octagon. And now I can animate it and tweak it just like before. I can make it smaller, move it around on screen, make myself bigger. All right, I've added some animations to it, and this is what we've got. Nice, it grows in and fades in, and then it kind of spins and glitches out. So that's how to use FramePop. If you have any questions, email me at raisinhater@stupidraisins.com. Happy editing.